Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to Zooty Pickups. In today's video, we'll be having the ultimate technical pant showdown. So I got all these pants right here and we're gonna be comparing them to see which one is the best. So, why pants? Why are we doing a pant video all of a sudden? So I think pants are one of the most overlooked items in your wardrobe. For me anyway, they're a total staple. I wear black pants with pretty much like half my outfits. Of all the pieces of clothing I have, my black pants are probably the item that I reuse the most in most outfits. It's really important. I wear it all the time. So I feel like it's important to have a pair of really nice pants. So this is where the whole technical part comes in. So if you think about it, pants really haven't changed much for the last couple hundred years. The fabrics, essentially cotton, linen, denim, like basically all these fabrics are ancient. They're hundreds of years old. And here we are, we're still wearing the same cotton pants, same jeans, our great-great-grandfathers wore. But these days, there have been a lot of advancements in textile technology, especially in the outdoor performance industry. So essentially what technical apparel is, it's people using those advanced materials to make casual clothes that have the same performance properties, like clothes that you can wear at the office or just chilling around in your house. This means you don't have to look like a traffic cone, wearing your mountaineering pants to get those performance benefits in everyday life. So yeah, I did a bunch of research on technical apparel, and there seems to be two big companies making kind of like casual wear technical apparel. On the East Coast, we have Outlier, New York City, and on the West Coast, we have Mission Workshop, San Francisco. So I got on their website, looked around to find the perfect pair of black pants, and there were just like a ton of cuts, ton of different materials. I couldn't really decide, especially trying to shop online. This is a lot of money to be spending. These pants are around like $200 a pop. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just buy all of them. So I bought like 5 pairs of pants, and I decided to do a showdown, decide which one is the best, and return the losing 4 and keep the winning 1. So here it is. This is the video. I am making a video to essentially share with you guys my process of elimination in finding the best pair of technical pants. So this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have 4 grading criteria per pant. Each criteria will be weighted differently because each criteria has a different degree of importance. I would say the first criteria, which is the fabrics and material, this is the highest and most important rated criteria. So I'm gonna give this a 3x multiplier. The second criteria will be cut, fit, and features. So this is the second most important criteria, so this will have a 2x multiplier. The third criteria will be durability and construction. So this is also very important considering the price points of these pants, so I'm gonna give this also a 2x multiplier. The fourth and final criteria will be price. And while price doesn't exactly have anything directly to do with the pants themselves, I definitely think price is a factor that goes into deciding if you're gonna buy something or not, so I threw that in there. But since it's not directly related to the performance of the pants, I'm going to give the price category a 1x multiplier. So I'm gonna start with the Mission Workshop pants first and do the Outlier pants later. If you don't want to sit through all these, if you're here for a specific pant, I'm going to leave the timestamp for that pant down below. I'm just going to be going one by one, reviewing each one. And at the end, I will have kind of like a final conclusion and summary. So yeah, this is going to be a long video. Let's get right to it. The first pair of pants number one contender is the Signal 5-pocket pant from Mission Workshop. So this is a pretty plain 5-pocket pant. Let's start breaking it down. Let's talk about the fabric. So the fabric used here is a 4-way stretch nylon. It is a highly technical fabric with a ton of stretch. This thing stretches a ton. Like, it's very, very stretchy and very comfortable. When you're wearing this, it literally feels like you're wearing some leggings or nothing at all. It's very comfortable. The breathability is great because of the porous nature of this fabric. Liquid or sweat evaporates very quickly off this fabric. But you shouldn't even have to worry about that because of the DWR coating. Water just beads right off. And even when I tried to rub water into the pants, they would not penetrate. So these pants are extremely technical and resilient against water. And even if water does get in, it evaporates really quickly. So in terms of technicality, this pant is pretty awesome. The color, as you can also see, is pretty true. This is a pretty flat black, so nothing to really note there. However, all that being said, there is one major glaring negative point about this fabric, and it's the fact that it looks like, you know, one of those technical soft shells. The fabric looks like a synthetic kind of shell. It doesn't look like a normal pant. So, you know, when you're wearing this around the office and stuff like that, you might kind of get a little bit of that like mountaineering pant vibe, which is not exactly what I'm looking for. Also, it makes a pretty loud swishing sound. So, I am not a huge fan of that either. So all things considered, I'm gonna have to dock some points because it clearly looks like it's a performance fabric. So I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10 in the fabric category. So let's move on to features, cut, and fit. The cut on these, it's pretty good. It's a pretty slim fitting pant, as you can see on the little video of me wearing it before I started this. It's pretty slim. I would say it's not too skinny and not too baggy. I would like to see maybe the ankle be a little more tapered, but I think this is around the average size of all the ankles that you'll see in all the pants that I'm talking about today. So it's a little large, but overall I would say it's pretty decent. The main, I think, features on this pant is this knife pocket right here. So as you can see, apart from your main side pocket right here, there's a little side knife pocket. So you can put your knife, if you EDC carry a knife, it's really nice to have a separate pocket here because you can take your hand in and out of your main pocket without having that knife clip kind of getting caught on the back of your hand. That's super annoying if you wear your knife on the edge of your main pocket. So that's nice that they put that in. Another feature they have this little zip pocket that goes to the back of your right thigh, and it's a pretty decent sized zip pocket, big enough for, as you can see, most modern day phones. So you can use it to essentially store your phone, and since it's zippered, it's pretty secure, so you don't have to worry about stuff falling out. So these are some nice little features that are part of this pant. So considering all that, because the fit's good and it has a lot of bells and whistles, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10 in the fit, cut, and features category. Third category, construction and durability. Construction seems fine. I can't find anything really wrong with it. It seems to be pretty well made. These are made in USA. The only thing I kind of want to dock points for is the durability. So as you can see, the material, like I mentioned earlier, is this like technical soft shell material. It's stretchy. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to be the most durable material. Like if you were to take a spill riding your bike or riding your skateboard onto some asphalt, I don't know how well this is going to hold up. It doesn't seem to be the most durable material. So I'm going to dock some points there and give it a 7 out of 10 when it comes to durability. Final category, price. These are $225, and I don't know about you, but regardless of what kind of high-tech material the pant is made out of, $225 is really steep. There's no way really I can justify that kind of price. So I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10 in terms of price and value. So if you tally up all the multipliers, the final score for the Signal pant is 55 points. Next up, we have the Signal Limited pants, also from Mission Workshop. So this pant is exactly the same pant as the previous pant I just showed you, except in a different material. It is a 4-way stretch twill weave. So unlike the previous material, which looked totally artificial, it actually looks like normal fabric. Even if you look at it up close, it just looks like normal fabric. So it has that benefit. It has all the same technical properties as the 4-way stretch nylon. However, I do have to point out that it does not stretch as much as the nylon, and the breathability, the water evaporation was not as good as the normal 4-way stretch nylon. When I had water splashed on there, it did absorb it eventually, and once it did absorb it, it took a little longer to dry off. However, I don't know, I really like this material because you have all the technical properties and it does look like a normal pant. So I'm gonna give this a 8 out of 10 in terms of the materials. So let's move to features, cut and fit. This is exactly the same cut and fit as the other pant that I just talked about, the regular Signals. So this is just gonna get the same points in this criteria, a 9 out of 10, and we're just gonna move on to the next criteria, which is construction and durability. So the construction on these, also made in America with Swiss fabric. So this is super high quality construction. It is definitely built to last. And the material here is very beefy. It definitely has a lot more weight to it, and it is a lot more durable. I can definitely see this lasting a lot longer than the regular Signals. So I'm gonna give it an extra point. This is gonna get an 8 out of 10 in terms of durability. So final criteria, price. These come in at $245, $25 more than the regular Signal pants, which is extremely expensive. These are the most expensive pant out of all the pants that I'm talking about right now. However, that being said, you get a specialized fabric. It looks like normal fabric, but it has all the technical properties. So I guess there is some added value there. However, at $245, I still think it is a poor value proposition. I'm still gonna give it a 3 out of 10. So if you add up all the scores and the multipliers, the total tally for the Signal Limited pant is 61 points. Third pan up from Mission Workshop, we have the Division Chinos. So as the name implies, this is a chino pant. It has a pretty skinny to slim cut. I'd say somewhere in between there. It's definitely not skinny, but yeah, it is definitely more of a formal pant. You got the pleated pockets in the back, so this is more appropriate for like a more formal office type environment. So let's get right into the judging criteria. The fabric. So the fabric here is very similar to the fabric on the first pant that we talked about, the Signals. It's that technical kind of soft shell looking pant. However, the weight on this is a little lighter than the weight on the Signal pants. However, apart from that, it retains all the same properties, the super crazy waterproofing, the super crazy breathability, and the insane amount of stretch that you have. You can see that it just stretches like crazy. Very comfortable pants. However, I have to dock the same points because it just looks too much like a technical pant. It doesn't look like a normal pair of pants. The fabric, it is just way too techy for me. So while I really like the feel and look of this fabric, I'm going to have to give it the same 7 out of 10 like I did on the regular Signal pants. So let's move to features, cut, and fit. The fit on these, like I mentioned earlier, it definitely fits really nicely. It's a very nice taper. It's probably the skinniest taper out of all the pants that I have here right now. So it's a very form-fitting pant. And I like how it's more of a formal pant. Like it's you can kind of dress it up a little more than your traditional 5-pocket pants. So that's definitely an added bonus. But it does not have the dedicated knife pocket here like the Signal pants had. It does have this little kind of like divot here where you can put the knife, but no dedicated knife pocket. However, it does retain this little zip pouch that goes into the back thigh area for your phone. Also pretty decently sized to fit most mobile devices. So while I really like the fit, I don't like the fact that it doesn't have the little knife pocket. So I'm gonna dock 1 point and I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10 in terms of fit, features, and cut. So let's move to the third criteria, construction and durability. I don't know if I got a fluke, but for me anyway, the construction on this was not as good as all the other pants that I had, even the Mission Workshop ones. I had a lot of like loose threads hanging off everywhere, and especially this like back right pocket, as you can see, like this loose thread is just kind of like holding it and preventing it from opening. Like, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a thread here that got caught in the back pocket stitching and it prevents the back pocket from opening. So, you know, stuff like that, like it's not what you would expect from a pair of $225 pants. Also, the material, it's very lightweight, very thin, so I don't think this will be a very durable material as well over time. So overall, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 in terms of durability and quality of construction. Finally, moving to the last criteria, we have price and value. Like I just said, this is a $225 pair of pants, and I just don't think it is worth that kind of money, especially for the construction quality that you get and the materials that you get. These are made in USA, like all Mission Workshop pants. However, I just don't think it is worth $225, even with the super special fabric. So I'm gonna have to give this a 2 out of 10 in terms of value. So if we tally up all the points and the multipliers, the Mission Workshop Division Pants comes to a final score of 51 points. Alrighty, 3 pants down, 2 to go. Now we're moving into the Outlier NYC pant territory. So the first pant I have from Outlier is their signature 5-pocket, which is the Slim Dungaree. This is a just pretty plain 5-pocket style pant, slim fitting, nothing really too special going on here. So let's go right into the fabric details. So the fabric here is a 2-way stretch fabric that they call work cloth. It's a double weave canvas, meaning that the outside and the inside have different textures. The outside has a very kind of like rough, rugged texture. The inside has a soft, almost furry type of texture. So this is really nice. When you're wearing this pant, it feels really good on you because of the nice kind of like furry and wicking texture in there. It also helps when you sweat. The furry texture wicks away the sweat and expels it on the outside. So that's a huge plus there. In terms of stretch, it is a 2-way stretch and not a 4-way stretch like the previous 3 pants that I mentioned. All the Mission Workshop pants are a 4-way stretch fabric. So in terms of straight up comfort, they are not as comfortable just because of the fact that, you know, it does not stretch as much. However, that being said, breathability on these pants was excellent. When I rubbed water into it, you know, it did resist it because of the DWR treatment. It eventually did soak into the fabric. However, once the water was soaked into the fabric, it didn't take very long for it to dry completely because of the coarse kind of weave of this material. This material does not contain any cotton. It has 0% cotton, so it does not retain any water. So because of that, it's a very cool fabric, and it's a very performant fabric, especially in the summer. The weight of the fabric is pretty lightweight as well. Also, I would like to point out that the texture of the fabric, it looks like normal pant material. It doesn't look like any sort of technical pant. It looks like a normal pant. It almost feels like a normal pant from the outside when you feel it. So if you're wearing this in the office, no one's gonna realize that you have a very technical pair of 5-pocket pants on. Everyone's just gonna think you have a regular cotton pant on, because that's what it looks like. And I think that is one of the main strengths of these pants, that they look completely normal. They don't look any different than any run-of-the-mill pants you would have, but they pack all these technical features. So I'm gonna give these pants a 9 out of 10 when it comes to materials. I really love this work cloth material that Outlier has come up with. It is the best in my opinion. I am only docking 1 point because it doesn't have that 4-way stretch. It only has 2-way stretch. If this had 4-way stretch, this would be a 10 out of 10 fabric in my book. So let's move to features, cut, and fit. So this is a pretty somewhat baggier fitting jean. It's supposed to be a slim fit, but for me, out of all the pants I've tried, I think this was kind of like on the slightly baggier side, but just by a little bit. I think the leg opening needs to be just a little more tapered to be a little more stylish. However, overall, the fit's not bad. It's definitely not a sloppy look, but it's a little more baggier than I would have wanted, but it's no big deal. I think that also helps keep the air cool inside of your pants, because the pants are not sticking to your skin. This pant really doesn't have any cool features in terms of like pockets or anything like that. It has one kind of like side pocket right here that you for some change. It's not very deep. You can't put a knife in here. And then you got the main pockets. So in terms of features, there's nothing really special. It's a very vanilla 5-pocket pant. However, I would like to point out that the crotch has a diamond gusset. I don't know if you guys can see, but I don't know if you guys can see, but the crotch here has a diamond gusset. What that does is it allows the wearer to have a lot more mobility. So while this only has a 2-way stretch material, the fact that they added a diamond gusseted crotch really kind of increases the range of motion for these pants. However, overall, since there's not too much going on here and the fit is not as slim as I wanted it to be, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 in terms of fit. So let's move on to the third criteria, construction and durability. So Outlier makes their pants in Portugal. The fabric is Swiss-made fabric. The construction is impeccable. I have not been able to find anything wrong with it. I was trying to look really hard. I like the fact that there's some attention to detail here. The inside of the belt is lined with this like white kind of like smooth fabric. Has a really nice feel on your skin. The button detailing is great. Everything about the construction, I'd say A+. This material also seems very durable, way more durable than the technical looking fabric on the Mission Workshop pants. This fabric definitely looks and feels like it can take quite a beating and be fine. So I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10 when it comes to durability. So let's move on to the final criteria, the price. Outlier sells these for $198, which is just below $200. And I think for what you're getting, you get this advanced Swiss technical fabric that looks like a normal pant. You get this great construction. I think it's a decent value. It's not definitely a good value because it's still a $200 pair of black pants, but I think it's better value than the others. So I think I'm just gonna give it like a 6 out of 10 because it's not bad. So to tally up all the points on the Outlier Slim Dungaree, we have a total of 63 points. So that's pretty high, very promising. Let's move on to the next one. last pair of pants we have here are the Futureworks Chino from Outlier. So this is Outlier's Chino style slim fitting pant. As you can see, it has the pleated back pockets. Definitely more of a formal looking pant. So let's get right into the material. The fabric that Outlier used here is a fabric called Future Cloth, and it's supposed to be kind of like a lightweight summer fabric with a lot of stretch. They say that this has a 35% stretch, but I thought it was strange though. When I actually try to stretch it, it doesn't really stretch as much as I expected it to. This is supposed to be a more stretchier fabric than the slim Dungarees, which I just talked about before this. But in my opinion, just by wearing this pant and the slim Dungarees, I gotta say the slim Dungarees were actually more stretchy. So I don't know about their 35% stretchiness claim here. Apart from that, the fabric itself is very nice. It's a very kind of like, I would say this is the most kind of like normal looking fabric out of all 5 pants I've talked about just now. This literally just looks like cotton. If no one told me this was a technical fabric, even after touching it, I wouldn't have known. So super high points in terms of just how it looks. Waterproofness, it's great. DWR coating is great. Breathability is also great. Water evaporated very quickly from under the fabric. So super high points in terms of technicality as well. However, the coloration, I think I need to mention, it's supposed to be black, but it's like a slightly faded black. It's a little more faded than the other black pants that I just talked about. So, you know, I think it takes a little ding there and another little bit of a ding for not being as stretchy as it claims to be. So I think I'm gonna give this a 8 out of 10 in terms of fabric. But overall, this is a very impressive fabric and I like it. So let's talk about the features, cut, and fit. So this is a pretty slim fitting Chino pant. The leg taper is pretty much identical to the slim Dungarees, except just a little bit wider. But due to the way the fabric stretches a little less, it feels like it's like a tighter fitting pant. So I actually kind of like that it's a tighter fitting pant. Also, this pant has the diamond gusset as well. However, the diamond gusset on this pant is huge. It goes from your crotch area all the way down to your knees. So you have a knee length diamond gusset, which really helps with mobility. However, that being said, there's really no other standout features. It's just some pockets in the front and some pockets in the back. So, you know, it doesn't get a ton of points in terms of features, but, you know, I like the fact that it fits a little better and then it has that knee length gusset. So I'm going to give it a 8 out of 10 when it comes to fit, cut, and features. So let's move on to construction and durability. The construction on this is great. This is also made in Portugal. However, this is made out of Swedish fabric. The Future Cloth is made in Swiss. The material seems pretty durable. However, due to the fact that it's a little thinner, I would say it's not as durable as the work cloth on the slim Dungarees. So I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 in the durability and construction department. So finally, let's move on to the price. So these are $140. This is the cheapest pant out of all the pants that I've talked about today. And I think that represents actually like pretty good value in terms of what you get. You get some super technical fabric that has two-way stretch. You got some crazy waterproofing. You got crazy breathability. I think it represents, it checks off all the boxes in terms of what you need in a pant. So, you know, at $140, I think that is actually pretty good. So I'm going to give it high points. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 in terms of value and price. So adding up all the scores for the Futurework pant, we have a final total of 62 points. So now all the results are in. I don't know if you guys were keeping track or not, but the results were actually pretty close. So let's see how all the pants did. So at the very bottom of the list with 51 points, we have the Mission Workshop Division pant. I think this pant did poorly because the fabric, you know, it just looked too technical and the construction was poor and the price was high. So that was just a bad combination. Right above that, we have the Signal pant from Mission Workshop at 55 points. This pant was slightly better than Division because the construction was better, but it still had the same downfalls as Division because the fabric was just simply too technical looking, and that was not what I'm looking for. Right in the middle at third place, we have the Mission Workshop Signal Limited pant at 61 points. So these pants, they had a better material. However, in the end, it comes down to the price, $245. That is just way too much, I think, to spend on a pant. And I can't really justify that. So that's where it lost a lot of points. In second place, we have the Futureworks pant from Outlier at 62 points. So these pants are great. It has basically everything that I was looking for in a technical pant, and it also came in at a great price, $140. I mean, honestly, I'm tempted to keep these pants as well as the first place pant, but I can't have two pairs of black pants, so maybe I'll return these and maybe I'll get them in like a khaki colorway. I like them that much. So finally, to the grand prize winner, the first place pant. At 63 points, we have the Outlier Slim Dungaree, the grand champion of the pant showdown. This pant won, I think, mainly because the fabric was just so good. It gave it a huge edge over all the other pants. It fit decent, the price was decent, but all of this was just kind of overlooked by the fact that the fabric was just so good. So here we go. These are the pants I think I'm gonna keep. Like I said, the fit was a little baggy, but that can be fixed really easily by just going to a tailor or a alteration specialist and having the leg tapered a little bit. So that is definitely not a big deal. Overall, I am very excited to wear these pants. They're exactly what I was looking for. They're just perfect. So once I get these tapered just a little bit, these will probably be my go-to pants for pretty much any occasion. So yeah, there it is. I know that was like a super long video, but I had a lot of things to talk about. When I was trying to buy these pants, I was very frustrated because there's just so many variables that go into these pants, and it was difficult to find somewhere that had broken down everything. But this is just kind of like my criteria and what I think is important in these pants. Your mileage may differ, but hopefully, this helped you make a purchasing decision because, like I said, these are not cheap pants. So yeah, once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.